Hello everybody. Today we're going to take a look at order of operations with fractions. We're in unit 2.6b at WAMAP. Okay, you have a couple of instructional videos you can watch here to get the gist of what I'm about to say. The problems we're going to look at, the sum of 1/3 plus 2/5 squared is the first one. And the second one is 4/15 divided by 50/3 plus 3/5 squared times 1/30. Okay, so before you start to panic, we're just gonna relax and think about our rules for PEMDAS, which is parentheses, exponents or roots, multiplication or division, addition or subtraction, and we're going to apply these. So let's start with parentheses. We do have parentheses, and we also have an operation inside those parentheses, which is critical. So we're going to have to add these together first because we do whatever's in parentheses here first. Now these are fractions, so we can add them together as long as they have the same denominator. But if these were not like terms, we would rewrite this expression in the parentheses twice and multiply that by each other. There's a way to do that using the FOIL method, but we don't have to learn that yet, because if we just convert these to the same denominator, then we can add them together inside the parentheses and then square the result. Okay, so let's see how that looks. 3 and 5 are already prime numbers, so it's basically a prime factorization already done for us. So if we have 3 and 5, we multiply those together to get 15. So our LCM, they're really being kind here, our LCM is 15. So what times 3 equals 15? The answer to that is 5. So we're going to multiply the numerator and denominator of the first fraction by 5. And then what times 5 is 15? 3, right? So we're going to multiply the numerator and denominator of the second fraction by 3. And rewrite the problem. So let's choose a different color. I'm going to go with purple. Feeling kind of purple right now. So 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 2 times 3 is 6. And we know the denominator is 15. And this is going to be squared. Okay. So the first step, I guess, this is actually just a two-step order of operations problem, but when you do addition of fractions, you do have an extra step of calculating the common denominator. So now it's a two-step PEMDAS problem, and that could be part of the confusion. You've got to do pre-processing and then post-processing. But we have 5 of these units, and we're adding 6 more. So we've got 5 plus 6, that's 11. And then 15, right? 11/15, and that is the sum of what was in those brackets, and we're going to square that. And that'll be our next step. And so what we can do is, if you remember the rule, this is just 11 squared over 15 squared. Or you can write it out as 11 over 15 times 11 over 15 and multiply that out. But it'll still be the same answer, 11 times 11 over 15 times 15. So this is going to be 11 times 11, so if you are students in Math 55 should know there are times tables up to 12 times 12 and 57 up to 15 times 15. People watching this video are probably Math 53, but it would be a good idea to try and learn up to 12 soon and up to 15 by next term. So let's see, 11 squared is 121 and 15 squared is 225. And let's see if we can reduce those at all. So we know this reduces to 11 times 11. And we can go 15 times 15 here and then take each of these down to primes. But it looks like out of these factors, we have 11s here and 3s and 5s here. It looks like these two numbers are co-prime. Co-prime, I'll just write that here. Means they can't be divided by, they don't have any shared factors. So we are done. This is as far as we can reduce this fraction. All right, so let's take a look at the next problem. 4/15 divided by 50/3 plus 3/5 squared times 1/30. Okay, so PEMDAS, we're looking for parentheses, especially parentheses with an operation inside. So do we have that? We do have parentheses, but there's no operation here. You could argue that this is actually 5 dividing into 3, but we're not going to treat it that way for this. We're going to go ahead and cut to the chase of squaring this fraction. We're going to ignore those parentheses and just go with the exponent. So we've got 3 squared, 5 squared. This will be our first. Should I underline all our operations? First operation. And then second, we're going to do division before multiplication, and then addition. And some of these, if they are addition, we're going to have to find a common denominator, right? So this is where you come to appreciate multiplication and division of fractions, which don't require that process. Oops. I'm going to make a little cameo here. Hello. All right, so 3/5 squared is going to give us, let's do a different color, 9/25. All right, so that's squared. And then we're just going to bring down these other numbers, 4/15 divided by 50/3 plus 9/25 times 1/30. Okay, and so our second operation here is going to be the division, right? And do you guys remember keep, change, flip for this problem? We're going to just, we're going to keep 4/15 and we're going to change the operation to multiplication, and we're going to flip that fraction, and we're going to ignore the rest of the problem right now because we're doing only multiplication or division, right? I guess we can cross some of these out as we get through them. So 4 times 3 is 12, and 15 times 50. Let's do 5 times 15, which is 75, and add a 0. So 750. And then we're going to bring down the rest of the problem, plus 9/25 times 1/30. Our next step is to multiply 1/30. I wonder if I can do this on the fly. Let's try. Nope, it might not let me resize right now. Let's try this. I guess you don't need to see my controls. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can resize this at all. No, I don't think so. All right, well, I'm going to come down just a little bit. And this will probably impact my screenshot, but we'll go ahead. 9/25 times 1/30. This is going to be 9 over, and then 30 times 25. 3 times 25 is 25, 50, 75 plus the 0. So 750. Well, wasn't that nice? They solved our problem of having to find a common denominator when we get to our last step, which is addition. So, hope you can see that one. We've got 12 over 750 plus 9 over 750. So we just add those two together. I'm going to write the answer up here. 9 plus 12 is 21 over 750. And then we have to do reducing. So 21 reduces to 3 and 7. And 750 can be divided by 3. Let's see, 3 and then 250. And then let's say 2 and 125, 5, and what is 125 divided by 5? 12 divided by 5 is 2, leaving 2, and then 25. So it goes in 25 times, and then 5 and 5. So we just did a prime factorization. Oops, I better move. Now I'm over here. So we do have 3's shared, so we're going to divide the top and the bottom by 3, and we're going to get 7 over 250 as our answer. All right, so let's plug these in at WAMAP and see how they look. So 1/3 plus 2/5 squared came out to be 121 over 225. So 121 slash 225. Those are perfect squares. We got it. That's right. Awesome. And then the next one, all these steps. There's so many places where things could go wrong. 7 slash 250. The one thing that encouraged me was that we ended up with two fractions with the same denominator. Magically. They set it up nicely. So those are both correct. So as you follow, I would say when you are working these problems, do it just like I do. Write out all the steps, and I think that will give you your best chance of getting the correct answer. All right, go ahead and try a few of these, and let me know if you get stuck. Message me.